Try to spend the whole M on some clothes. Got up on this, I sold out the show. Got like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that wet on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you.
They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh, don't make me have to lose it. No, hold up. Pull my out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up. Pull my out the jaw.
Saquon Barkley, welcome to the NFL. It's the coach. You're tuned into week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Giants fans will see the debut of their dynamic new runner, number 2 overall pick, Saquon Barkley, as the New York Giants are in for a test, facing one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the early game. Let's get you back up to MetLife Stadium. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Let's go.
There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Fournette, a first down carry. Shifts by him. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
They go play action here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On second down, here's Yeldon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On second down, here's Bortles. Lee's got it over the middle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And they're going to have a third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps. It cuts towards the middle of the field, and now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on third down.
On first and 10, here's Bortles. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his first touchdown as a Jacksonville Jaguar. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not. And we keep hearing from people who are waiting to see the drop-off in his play. I'd quit worrying about it. I'd quit looking for it. He says he wants to play until he's 45. Is there any reason to doubt him? His skills have shown no sign of declining. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now the first NFL carry for Saquon Barkley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them...
Throwing on first down is Brady. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. On play action, now Brady. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing? He was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
I think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They'll go for it. It's Brady. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player in the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. Here it's 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Bortles. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add. to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. On the crossing route, complete. It's Lee. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
To throw is Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there at 22.
39, Lucy. Set. 380.
Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Mike 39, Lucy. Set. 380.
Bortles to throw on second down. They go with the screen. It's Yeldon. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Bortles now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
380. 380.
Working from the gun. It's Bortles. And it is caught at the 7-yard line. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
380. 380.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags.
380.
Bortles. This will be caught at about the 6. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
he wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. We've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. The Bills looking for the win on the road in Week 1. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucs. The Saints playing well in their opener, trying to send their sellout crowd home happy. In the game you've been watching, it was Blake Bortles with a strong first half throwing the football. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because
they've got his man complete. A big play there for the Giants. 43 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
A reminder, 4 more games set to kick off later this afternoon. Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks and the Broncos, Redskins and Cardinals, and then the Cowboys against the Panthers. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now Brady throwing on 2nd down. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They have certainly looked his way in this third quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked up.
Touchdown number 1 of the NFL career for young star Saquon Barkley, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Rosas now to kick this one away. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 right at the 30.
380. 380.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And that's off the mark. Incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there. And both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
380. 380.
Bortles will try again on 2nd down. That is incomplete. DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie getting in there to break it up.
That's a nice play by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. Excellent body control. A tall corner who often has to really do a great job of bending his knees to stay with his receivers. He just did a nice job there. The man they call DRC got a PBU for pass broken up.
Look at you, Mr. Acronym. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
380. 380.
And the blitz does come. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
To throw, it's Bortles. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
So after the INT, it's Brady. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside. Probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10.
380. 380.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
380.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
380. 380.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
380. 380.
Bortles going to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. A good pickup there, a 22.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Oh, and now he pulls him over. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeout?
And this is caught by Lee. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Marquise Lee from 3 yards out. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
This one taken just inside the 10. What a spin. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football. 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple. And that's exactly why they trail.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. Caught by Gates, left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Well, that throw by Brady incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Now, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad was thinking. What would Big Al?
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A.J. Boye with a pick. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now Brady to try again after the pick 6. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Brady. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Giants on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. Now Brady, he's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And that one results in 35 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Jacksonville, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots.
I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanted me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, now it's by the stove. Big inside this cases once do me dirty, I'ma find you lay your out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself, rather do this